Now we move on to a recent report that's indicated that groceries in the United Kingdom are going to become costlier this summer. Analysts at the Institute of Grocery Distribution said that the prices will rise 15%, so UK households will have to shell out more money for buying their bread, meat and dairy. It also warned that many vulnerable people could be forced to skip meals in the coming weeks as they try to tackle that soaring cost. In its report, the IGD said that the UK is facing the highest cost of living crisis since the 1970s, and the reason behind it is the war in Ukraine. The Russian invasion has triggered a grain shortage in most of the world, and countries are scrambling to get their hands on produce, pushing up market prices. The IGD said that products that depend on grains, whether that's directly or indirectly, will see a price hike this summer. Alongside that is the rise in global crude oil prices, of course, which is pushing those food rates up, and fuel costs as well. The UK imports 40% of its food requirement, making it vulnerable to global food price fluctuations. And inflation levels in the UK are also at 9% now. But the Bank of England says it expects those levels to fall back through 2023. Well, Julia Chapman is still with us from London. Julia, the cost of living crisis appears to be strengthening its grip on the UK. The UK government has started putting policies in place to try to support those households that are on the lowest incomes. Just take us through a few of those. What are they, and will they be enough?
Yes, certainly more pressure building on British households. The government says it is taking steps to help mitigate some of the effects, many of them global pressures, including, of course, the war in Ukraine, the shutdown of production in many parts of China, putting more and more pressure on prices here in the UK, which are going up and are predicted to continue to do so over the course of the year. What the British government has announced is that there will be a one-off payment for roughly the poorest 8 million households in the UK. This is at a cost of 15 billion British pounds. They are going to offer this support payment to those on means-tested benefits, so those that are already receiving some sort of support package from the government on a regular basis because of need. So this is certainly expected to help in some way mitigate the effects of rising inflation, but it is only a one-off payment. The other thing that the government is doing is offering an energy rebate. That was already announced earlier this year at being £200 per household. They've doubled that to £400 per household now. So these steps are being taken in an effort to make things a little bit easier for the UK residents that are going to the shops and finding that food prices are continuing to rise. As this report says, they could rise by 15% later in the summer. Food inflation at the moment year on year is at 7.8%, but very likely to continue rising. And in other news today, we've also had the announcement from the Bank of England, Britain's central bank, which has increased interest rates in an effort to get inflation under control. So another measure being taken to make things a little bit easier, but that could certainly take some time to feed through.
Julia Chapman in London, thank you.